When we think about Tesla today, it's easy to see this giant, this almost inevitable success story. But that's really just a mirage. The real story, the one we're going to unpack here, is about a company that basically lived on the edge of a cliff for more than a decade. It was one enormous, continuous, all-in bet against total failure. A high-stakes gamble that honestly could have gone bust at almost any moment.
See this sentence? This is from a blog post back in 2006, and it was the entire blueprint, the secret master plan as it became known. And look, on the surface, it sounds perfectly logical, right? But underneath, it was this incredibly audacious, almost reckless strategy. It meant they were going to have to burn through mountains of cash to build factories and invent new tech, all with the hope, but absolutely zero guarantee, that they might, one day, turn a profit.
So, where did a crazy plan like this even come from? Well, to really get why Tesla was even born, you first have to understand the death, or maybe more accurately, the murder of another electric car.
That's right. The story starts with GM's EV1. The original founders of Tesla, Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning, they literally watched in disbelief as General Motors famously recalled and then physically crushed its entire fleet of these amazing electric cars back in 2003. They saw GM burying the future, and right there, in that moment, they saw an opportunity where a giant automaker saw nothing but a dead end.
So the company gets founded in 2003, but it's really 2004 when the rocket fuel gets added to the tank. Elon Musk, fresh off his success with PayPal, comes in with that first crucial major investment and becomes chairman of the board. And just 2 years later, by 2006, they have an actual product to show the world, the stunning, high-performance Roadster. Step one of that master plan was officially a go.
And this brings us right back to that core strategy, that deceptively simple, secret master plan that Musk just laid out there for the whole world to see.
What's so wild about this plan is just how brutally simple it is. Each step completely depends on the success of the one that came before it. I mean, if the expensive Roadster fails, there's no money for the Model S. If the Model S fails, well, the dream of an affordable car for everyone dies right there. It was like a chain of dominoes with absolutely no safety net, and they all had to fall perfectly.
And as you can probably guess, those dominoes did not fall perfectly. Not even close. For over a decade, the company lived on a knife's edge, just lurching from one near catastrophe to the next, constantly teetering on the brink of total collapse.
And this wasn't just a one-time crisis. It was like a recurring nightmare. Back in 2008, a popular car blog started a literal Tesla death watch, counting down the days until it would inevitably go bankrupt. Then, 5 years later, even after the Model S was a huge hit, the company was, again, just weeks away from running out of money. Musk reportedly had a handshake deal to sell the entire operation to Google, only to pull out at the very last second.
But nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, could compare to the crisis that came next. The Model 3, the affordable mass-market car, that was supposed to be the final move, the checkmate. It was the whole point of the master plan. Instead, it almost destroyed the entire company.
So what was the problem? Manufacturing at scale. Tesla had bet big on a hyper-automated factory, this vision of the future, and it was failing spectacularly. As this quote shows, the problems were terrifyingly deep. They couldn't get the robots to work. They had to scrap and rewrite the core software for the most important part of the car, the battery. The very heart of the car was broken.
And this is what that failure looks like in real time. During the absolute peak of the Model 3 crisis, Tesla was burning through almost $500,000, not per day, per hour. The company was hemorrhaging cash at a rate that is just impossible to comprehend, and the clock was ticking, fast. The pressure was so intense, the challenges were so severe, that Musk himself gave it a name that has stuck ever since: Production Hell. It was the ultimate test of the company's big bet, and it pushed the entire team to the absolute breaking point.
But then, against all odds, something incredible happened. They fought their way out of it, line by line of code, bolt by bolt on the assembly line. And on the other side of that hell was the very success that the master plan had promised all along.
This chart right here, this is the moment the rocket finally ignited. Once they solved those Model 3 bottlenecks, production and sales didn't just grow, they exploded. From under 250,000 cars in the depths of that 2018 crisis to nearly 1 million just 3 years later. This wasn't just growth, it was a shockwave that they sent through the entire auto industry.
And this was the moment. This was when the market finally declared the bet a winner. In July of 2020, Tesla, the company that had stared into the abyss time and time again, officially became the most valuable car company on the planet, flying past the long-reigning king, Toyota. The upstart had toppled the giant.
And the milestones just kept on coming, each one another nail in the coffin of the old way of doing things. An IPO that had been seen since Ford back in the 50s, paying back a critical government loan 9 years early with interest, hitting these insane production numbers, 1 million, then 2 million EVs, that cemented its place as a dominant, unstoppable force. Good, here's the thing. Winning that first incredible bet didn't mean they were done gambling. Oh no, it just meant they could finally afford to make even bigger, even more audacious bets on the future.
Something subtle but hugely significant happened in 2017. The company officially dropped motors from its name. It became just Tesla. It was a clear signal to the world. We're not just about cars anymore. This is about fulfilling the final and maybe the most ambitious part of that original master plan.
Today, that massive bet on cars has funded a much wider, and you could argue more important, bet on a sustainable energy future. Tesla has pushed aggressively into solar energy, massive grid-scale battery storage, and the incredibly complex worlds of automation and artificial intelligence. And make no mistake, each of these is a multi-billion-dollar gamble in its own right.
So in the end, Tesla's story is really a testament to the power of a single audacious idea and the sheer willingness to risk everything to see it through. They bet the entire company on a master plan, they survived near certain failure, and in the process, they changed the world. Which really just leaves us with one final question. For a company that has never ever stopped gambling, what's the next all-in bet?